It's a lovely day today, lovely day, and it's been rainy the past few days and actually chilly comparatively. So today, shaping up to be a nice day. A bit windy, but still a nice day. Hopefully, people will take this. If you watch this video, that you will all take this for what it's worth and what it is intended to be. And forgive me if I come across in any way that I misrepresent myself. I'm not trying to denigrate anybody or where they derive their happiness or anything like that. Obviously not. That would just be insane. But I started to think about it, and I'm seeing how a lot of people are beginning to really feel this shut-in, this cabin fever, this lockdown. A lot of people are really starting to feel this, and I've seen a lot of people's responses that are, they're fed up with it, they're sick of it, and they're downright irate over it. And I've seen people that seem like their mental health is even becoming affected by it in a negative way. Whereas for me, it's pretty much, in many regards, business as usual. I like this laid-back, slower version of life. I'm good with this. Like I said, I have a lot of work to do around here, so forth and so on. So I'm okay with this. This is just like a holiday for me. I don't think I've actually had like even a solid week's vacation for years. So I think this is nice for me. Now, I'm not getting into all the semantics of what it represents and the loss of liberties and things like that. I'm not even going to get into that and address that right now. Right now, I'm just talking about from a psychological perspective, an emotional perspective, how people are finding out that they're not happy, they're unhappy, that they're coming to the realization, unless they're just in denial, that their happiness, what they perceive to be happiness, has been hitched or linked to things that are beyond their control. So you've swallowed the bait, hook, line, and sinker. But what will you do about it? And what I mean by this is, if your happiness hinges upon something or relies upon something that can be so easily lost or taken away from you, then maybe you need to reassess the life that you've been living. What are you living for? What are you living for if you're so much indoctrinated into the machine that if they shut the machine down, you don't know what to do or where to derive pleasure or happiness? And I know this is going to piss people off, and it certainly does not apply to everybody. But what I'm saying is, if you've put all your eggs in this one basket, that can just be turned off with a flick of a switch, that the font from which your happiness flows, literally, really, can be just shut down like this and taken away, then was it ever really, really yours? Or was it just like an imitation? Or was it just like a falsehood? Was it an artificial fabrication, an illusion of happiness? I know I've already lost a bunch of people there, but if you're going to roll with me, follow along with this train of thought, you'll realize that there is at least a kernel of truth to what I'm saying here. And then the only reason I'm pointing it out is, if you haven't seen it already, or you won't fess up to it in the mirror, then maybe there are some people that this will convince, that they'll say, he's right. And hopefully that will lead you to doing something about it, taking action so that your happiness henceforth is derived from something that's more permanent and that springs more forward from within you. From within you, that it doesn't depend on what does it say about your state of life and your living condition and what you've built for yourself. You've built and worked. We all work. You've worked. And you've earned. And that what it turns out to be is just like almost a falsehood. The carrot can't literally be a carrot hanging in front of you on a stick that they can always just yank away. You know, and I've felt this way for a long, long time. That's why I'm situated thusly. I love where I live. I love my refuge. I love the life that I've partaken, that of which I have partaken and have been living. And it doesn't have anything to do with if they've closed the shopping centers, if they've closed, you know, the movies, and they've closed the restaurants, and it doesn't hinge upon any of this bullshit, any of this pretense. Really, these are all things that, yeah, I have enjoyed and I have exploited because they were there and available, but I never hooked my wagon, my cart of happiness was never engined by something so infrastructurally man-made. You know what? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So particularly for those out there that are the most aggravated, and especially for those that believe that this is some level of attack on your rights or on you as an individual or us as a people, if you really feel that way, then you most of all should be moved to change things so that you're not in this same position again and you don't get caught under the thumb. You don't get caught under the thumb. You know, I've been moving in this direction and I'm only partway there. I want to be further away. I want to be more isolated. I want to be more self-sufficient. I want a larger piece of property. Much larger. Is it because I don't like people? No. Is it because I'm not a social type of person? Obviously, I can be very social. I have had to become more social because of Gorilla with a Cause to get my message out there, because nobody was going to, be my champion and promote this entire endeavor unless it was me. Unless it was me, I had to do it. Because I'm really at heart and grew up as an introvert. And a lot of people that know me would find that difficult to believe, that that's actually my nature. Because I include all kind of people. I include people all the time. I try to not do things alone. I'm always looking for people to come on board, get involved, partner up, and, as far as actual out here real world shit. When I go places, I take people with me. I've always tried to do that. Even to this degree, even with the, my fantasy would be to have 100 acres and to be able to create my own intentional community of like-minded people, of good, solid people that are at heart meek, timid, passive, but at least have enough, like myself, present, just out of an abundance of concern for protection and a bit of a inclination or a real worldview, a real life type of worldview that I understand what's out there, that I would at least have enough people out of those people that were enough like myself that if necessary have and will defend and protect. Because all of these qualities, timidity and modesty and things that you don't even really think that maybe I possess, that's what I'm all about, really. Passivity, all of these things. Compassion, gentleness, all of these things. It's no contradiction to have all of these qualities and at the same time be capable, able, and experienced and willing to defend and protect. And competent in that regard. So for me, there's a big chasm between how I view the world and how a lot of people out there that I'm seeing now are viewing the world. I am willing to preserve, to defend, to protect. I'm willing and able, but it's because I have created, or I seek to create, within the framework of that unto which I have been born around me here in this great nation, that I'll find my niche, and then I realize that I need to possess these skills or these other just in case. So there are a lot of things I do or preserve or retain just in case to protect the life that I've created and the happiness, my freedom to pursue my happiness. But my happiness is not dependent upon any artificial, man-made infrastructure. I don't know if any of that makes any sense to anybody else out there, but it might be something to think about if you're feeling like you're caged up now, living in your home, then maybe it's not really home. Maybe it's just a place you've been laying your head. Guys, take care, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. And again, my intention is not to offend anybody. As always, my intention is just to try to communicate thoughts and ideas and feelings, beliefs to like-minded individuals, and maybe to just motivate some others to really think. And hopefully out of that, somewhere, somebody's going to end up with a more secure, realistic, closer to heart, real happiness for themselves later, in the future, tomorrow. Take care, have a wonderful day.